The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Mid-Carolina Service Company.
Mid-Carolina Service Company is the first name to search for your residential or commercial HVAC needs in Lexington and surrounding areas.
Just go holler at Jason and Clint. They'll hook you up on the air conditioners, on the restaurant equipment, refrigerators, refrigeration, ice machine repair. They've been doing this for years. I know them cats forever.
Family owned and operated since 2006, they pride themselves in their quality work and customer relationships. Call 803-356-4153 or visit midcarolinaserviceco.com for a no obligation quote for service today.
The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by True Brilliance Entertainment.
True Brilliance is a production, promotions, and management company dedicated to connecting artists and producers across the Carolinas to music industry professionals.
Several of their clients have placements both domestic and internationally as a result of their services.
Are you an artist or producer looking to build meaningful relationships within the music industry? Then True Brilliance is for you. Check them out at paramilitary.com. That's spelled P-A-I-R-A military.com.
Welcome to the Hilltop Glove Podcast.
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 The Hilltop Glove Podcast.
We're excited to launch this new season of the Hilltop Glove Podcast. Today we have our very first guest, Dominique Hodge, also known as Jakeem Da Dream, a Columbia-based visual artist, muralist, and educator. He specializes in acrylics, but skilled in multiple mediums. His Afro-futuristic art transforms the Black experience through themes of dreams, spirituality, and ancestry. Beyond creating, Jakeem teaches host community events and has completed public murals. Known for his originality and risk-taking, he stands out as a visionary within local galleries and art studios. Join us as we dive into the creative mind of the artist, Jakeem Da Dream. How are you today?
Doing excellent. How about yourself?
Doing good. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And you guys know Skip, he's usually in the back, but today he's in the front.
Yes.
And special shout out to Kendra. She's helping us out behind the scenes, producing. And of course, we are at Celeb Studio. So, for our guests who do not know you, can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing and what was it like as a child?
Okay, well, I was born and raised in Sumter, South Carolina. That's, my hometown. I've always been interested in art. Art's been a big part of me from when I was younger, watching cartoons, different animations, anime, reading comics, stuff of that nature. I've always been drawn to the arts. So I knew in 6th grade I was going to be an artist. I didn't know what type of artist. At the time, I thought of being a cartoon animator. And then I realized how much work goes into animating it. Yeah. I was like, I don't know about that. So, yes, I continued, drawing, basic stuff, kids our age was drawing Dragon Ball Z characters, Pokemon, in sketchbooks. I used to get in trouble all the time for drawing in class.
Doodling.
Yeah, but now it's fascinating because now I get paid to draw in classes, it's really fascinating. But yeah, so Sumter was my home where I grew up in. I went to Charleston for college. That's where I went to Art Institute of Charleston.
Cool.
For graphic design. Realized that I was not interested in doing logos and brochures and stuff. So from there, I started working with small galleries, stuff of that nature, and I realized teaching is something I kind of fell into.
Yeah.
And I've been, besides pursuing my artwork, teaching has been my other passion.
I like your upbringing. Yeah. I would have never guessed Sumter, South Carolina. Everybody says Sumter's so small.
Absolutely.
But talk about how you were inspired by the small town of Sumter.
So for me in particular, there's a lot of history in Sumter. In South Carolina in general, when you realize that South Carolina it kind of started the Civil War. I think people kind of forget that. So very steeped in history. And for me, a lot of my work in particular is Afrocentric or Afro-futuristic, showing black bodies. And one thing I will say about some is I didn't see that represented in artwork there. I didn't actually see black people represented in artwork until I got to college. So I'm 18 years old. I'm just now seeing positive black imagery. So for me, the lack of is one reason why I chose to pursue that. I feel like we're born to fulfill a need and a purpose. So my purpose is to bring that to the forefront.
Excellent. And and that's one of the things I think a lot of people don't think about either, especially being from Spike Rural, South Carolina, being small towns. We don't think about, even though South Carolina, especially in a lot of communities, are predominantly black, especially towards, like, you go towards the coast, right? Especially like that Sumter and that PD region, all through like 95 region. We don't think about the presence of art, especially positive presence of art, right?
Oh, absolutely.
This is kind of an assumption. So with that said, many artists, they're born, they're born with a gift or talent. Others, they have to dedicate thousands of hours to get good, right? Like me, I'm not a drawer, right? So if I want to draw, I would have to actually learn and practice. With that said, can you just tell us of the many ways you developed as an artist and how your work transformed over the years?
Sure. It's a quote by Bob Ross I love, that talent is applied interest. What you put time into, you develop. That's kind of the natural sort of, progression of things. So for me, again, I was drawing since I was in elementary school, but as far as developing my skills, it was a daily process. Like, I'm drawing all the time. And it's fascinating because I'm known for, people see my colorful paintings. I was someone who did not like color. Like I said, I'm never going to paint. I'm never going to use color. I just do black and white drawings and sketchbooks.
Wow.
And it's fascinating because now since I teach, I run into a lot of my students who have the same issue, and I realize that it's based around lack of knowledge. So because you don't know how color works, you're afraid to use it. No one wants to do a great drawing and then turn around and mess it up because they colored it wrong. They mixed wrong colors. So I'm like, okay, that's one way I've seen my work change drastically. And yeah, just like I said, work, it's all work. I don't think people realize that from a creative standpoint is we're putting in so much time developing this skill. Yes, you may have, a little bit of natural ability, but if you really want to get good at it, it takes a lot of work. And I've just been working at it every day.
I've literally seen him at an event for Black Nerd Mafia drawing while a whole live performance is like right in front of him and he's sketching while also paying attention. So
yeah, I believe if you stay ready, you gotta get ready.
Yeah.
So like people who see me out and about oftentimes see me with a sketchbook because that's, for one, it's hard for me to focus on things. And I grew up in a situation where you're stuck someplace and your mind is boom, 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 but you can't do anything about it. So for me, my sketchbook is my escape, so if I go someplace and maybe I lose, focus or whatnot, I can get back on there through so if I'm in my sketchbook, I'm paying attention, but I'm channeling at the same time.
Yeah, so that kind of helps people with anxiety. Like if somebody has
absolutely, and I'm someone who who deals with anxiety. So that right there for me is I guess a security blanket, a comfort for me to just I know if nothing else, I have my sketchbook.
Yeah.
So I got a question. Do you have your sketchbook now?
It's in my car.
Okay, close.
Yeah.
Stay ready.
Yeah.
Stay ready.
Dope.
So, being an artist, can you tell us about how do you stay relevant with the rise of technology? With the AI generated stuff now. What do you think about it?
Okay. For me, art is something that goes beyond human comprehension. I'm a big fan of superheroes. Okay. So one of my favorites is The Flash. If you've ever seen the show or know anything about The Flash, he's super fast. And he gets the speed from what's called the Speed Force, this cosmic force that the speedsters tap into for their ability. I feel as artists, we do the same thing. That there's some primordial, cosmic, creative energy out there, some force that just desires to exist, for things to exist. And as artists, we are conduits that tap into that. So for me, when you bring up AI, you're trying to go around that. I don't have the natural creativity. I don't have the ideas. Let me plug something into a machine and let it do the creating for me. I'm like, that's not what creation is supposed to be. And the reason why I hold that belief system, I believe, is, for example, if you've ever had an idea for something, for me, it could be a drawing or a series. I don't share it with anyone. I don't talk to them about it. I don't put it in my phone. I don't talk out loud about it. It stays in my head, but it's an idea. And then months, maybe a year later, you see someone do the exact thing that you were thinking. That's because it doesn't really belong to you. Like, we're connected to this source, and it's like, hey, this needs to be born into the world. I'm gonna feed it to the creatives and see who picks up on it. So for me, that's another reason I keep my sketchbook on me, because for one, let me put ideas down. Because I'm receiving these messages, but so are other people. So I'm gonna manifest what is meant to be manifested. So like, I'm not concerned about AI. AI is not going to make actual artists irrelevant. You know, like, as long as you have a soul and you can create, like, you're always gonna be relevant.
Yeah, that makes sense, because essentially, and what you hear a lot of times too, when you hear conversations about AI, especially when it comes to art, all it really does, or any type of data, all it really does is just compile what's already in existence and just spits it back out, you know, whatever combination that you request. So yeah, and so like you said, so based off of that, I can see where there's always going to be a need for artists.
Always
will be.
I like that. And with that being said, I feel like we all come from a creative source. So we all have that within us. It's just the finding it and tapping into it. What is your art form?
Exactly. It's like this natural spark that every person has. And you see it. That's why I love working with kids, because you see it naturally in them. I feel the world we exist in is designed to kind of beat it out of you. Yeah. And turn into this cookie cutter, this is what you do. Because art is alive. You know, it's not something that you can contain. It's constantly evolving and changing. And we exist in a system that wants something that they can control. And you can't control artists. That's why we've always been the glitch of the matrix.
Yeah, I like that.
So I love working with the kids because, again, you get to see them raw creativity. Hey, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to do this because it's an idea that popped in my head. I think we as adults have to operate the same way. The best artists, I believe, are the ones that maintain their inner child.
Yes, inner child.
That's true.
And kids help with that. I can tell you that right now.
Absolutely.
They help with that.
Absolutely. I learn from them as much as they learn from me, honestly. Like, I'm like, how did you... They'll show me something or say something. I'm like, I never would have thought of that.
Yeah.
So how did you get started working with students?
Okay, that's funny because I never thought I would be teaching kids. Like, graduating high school, I'm like, I have no interest in being in a school, being around kids. But when I look back at it, I've been working with kids most of my adult life, honestly. I started out working, back when I was in church, I would do like summer, the summer camp, summer program with the kids. Then I started working for a small studio in Sumter where we would do after school programs with the kids, summer programs with the kids. And it all led up to me working with the Auntie Karen Foundation, where I've been working with them since 2018. I've been to a number of schools throughout South Carolina. Currently, I'm in King Street, South Carolina at Kenneth Garner Leadership Academy. Been there about 6 years now.
Congratulations.
Yeah. But like, time is flying. It's so fascinating. But like, for me, working with kids is amazing because I feel it's giving back. It's the ultimate. I think every adult should work with kids at some point because they really are the future. Like, we're pouring back into something that's going to absolutely benefit us. And when we look at, for example, some of the negative aspects of society right now, it comes from these young kids who have not been poured into properly.
Yes.
So I don't believe in complaining about a problem that you aren't actively working towards solving. So for me, teaching, working with kids, showing them that there's other paths to go down is very important, especially for our young black boys and girls, like black boys in particular, because I feel that being one, growing up, if you weren't athletic or musically inclined, there wasn't a place for you. And I think about, for example, in school, we were in high school, every black boy wanted to be in the NFL or the NBA. Everyone thought that's where they were going. That's what their entire lives were dedicated to. But I look at it and see how many of y'all actually went. So your entire life is dedicated towards this thing that in most cases will not be obtained. So what happens when you're rejected from the one thing you thought you were going to be good at? then you fall to the wayside. You haven't developed any other skill sets. You're angry because you feel like, oh, well, they told me if I worked hard at this, I would be this. I'm like, I know tons of professional artists, musicians, poets, photographers, dancers, these people who are working creative fields, who are employed, who are living their best lives. And I'm like, no one told you that you could do that.
Pursue that. It wasn't even an option or idea.
It wasn't. And I want to be the person who says, hey, maybe you're good at this.
Yeah.
Try this out. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with this. You know, just pursue something creative. I think everyone should have a creative passion that they pursue.
Yeah.
Even if it's not from a monetary standpoint, just pursue it. So, yes, I think the kids definitely, I think that would also help with a lot of anxiety. Their emotional states is, a lot of them have emotion that they don't know where to put.
Yeah.
I see it with my young boys, especially. The young girls seem to be a lot more leveled, but the young boys, there's so much emotion. They don't know what to do with it. So default, it goes to anger.
Yeah.
They're mad and can't explain why they're mad because you're not actually mad. You're frustrated because you're not being understood. But art allows you to translate. It's a form of alchemy. You're transmuting something, taking one thing, breaking it down to its basic parts, and then reconstructing it as something else. That's what I teach.
I love that. We have to bring him to Kid Gloves.
Oh, yeah, we got to.
You got to meet our kids.
Oh, absolutely. I loved it.
They'll love you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just love the fact, like I said, that you explained like how you use art to be able to teach. And a lot of times I feel like art gets put into a box when it comes to education of children, because it's like, if you do art, it only applies to artistic things or creative things.
Absolutely not.
And just what you explained, it shows how art is important in other aspects of life. And I think that's something as a society that we tend to forget.
But yeah, that kind of goes back to you have a master's in arts, I have a bachelor's, and we do a bunch of different things. Like you do a little bit of designing with graphic design. We like to do photography, videography, but just exploring the kids to media arts and the different ways that the arts can help thrive.
Art touches everything. Like,
it does.
Even within a school setting, a lot of times it's seen as a special area or related arts, but in reality, art connects everything. Like when in art class, we're going over mathematics. You're learning about two-dimensional, three-dimensional shapes. You're learning about dimensions. And from a science standpoint, mixing of colors, understanding that's the science. Art history, ELA, you're writing artist statements, artist bios. Like, it touches every aspect of education. And I feel like when you study the old masters, education and the arts were unified. It wasn't taught separately. Like, you look at the Da Vinci's of the world, like art, music, mathematics, all this stuff was brought together into one. And when you realize that, you know what, we've been teaching things wrong now. We're trying to, we want you to focus on ELA and math, but like maybe if you taught the student something, their ELA with music, their mathematics with art, color, stuff of that nature, it would bridge that gap because they're already thinking from a creative mindset.
Yes,
you're trying to break them out of the creative mindset and put them into this box, and automatically they're fighting against it. It's natural because that's not. No, I want to sing. I want to dance. I want to do it. Okay, well, let's just find a way to tie ELA, math, social studies into that that you're naturally already gravitate towards, and you will learn a lot easier.
I think that's what we're trying to do with the Kid Gloves thing.
Well, because
it's working.
It is. I know, like last week, one of the things that we talked with the kids about was, and I guess this is more or less, this has to maybe do with this is more like the ELA, but we were teaching the kids about open-ended versus closed-ended questions, right? And then I guess this kind of goes even into science in a sense too, right? Like scientific method in a sense, right? And just knowing how do you find learn information? How do you find things? And you'd be surprised at how many students aren't aware of those concepts. But we just teach it through podcasts.
Yeah.
So. And they're learning. Yeah. Like, I say everyone's a teacher. I don't know if you realize it, but you are a teacher. If you're imparting knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to someone, that's teaching. And doing that to our kids is the ultimate form of teaching, because I feel they're the ones going to use the information the most. Even if they don't on a surface level realize it. It's stuff I learned from teachers that at the time, I'm like, I don't want to learn this. Yeah. Now, like years later, I'm like, that was like, thank you.
So important.
I wish I could find that teacher. There's one teacher I had back in third grade. He was my third grade ELA social study teacher. I ran into him years later at the Sumter Art Gallery. He's a member. And it's just like, thank you so much. Like, I thought you were mean, but like he sought structure, discipline, and he cared. And I think that's one thing that we're missing a lot, especially our young people, is people who just care about them.
And show
Don't
up.
want anything from you. I just care.
Yeah, I know showing up is a big thing because if we miss 1 week, they're like mad. Where were you? You weren't here. And we're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you guys cared about me that much.
They really do. Like, I don't miss work because I'm a contractor.
Yeah.
So I'm there every day. So if something were to happen, I think I missed work like one day. And they thought I just left them. Like, when I say this, like, because for one, kids don't have a comprehension of time the way we do. I feel as we get older, our comprehension of time solidifies.
Yeah.
To them, a day, a week, like, these are large spans of time. So, yeah, like, they never underestimate how much showing up means to a kid.
Yeah.
Like, they loved you just being there. You don't even have to do nothing. Just seeing your face. And one thing about the school system experienced a lot of turnover. The school I'm currently at, I mean, I've served under 3 different principals. I've seen entire staff changes. And one thing kids need to learn is consistency. They need to see the same faces. So for me, that's one reason I keep showing up to the same school, because I've had options to go, to other schools. I'm like, no, I want to stay here because if nothing else, they know they're going to see Mr. Hodge there.
Yeah.
That's true.
We're presented with that situation right now.
Yeah. That's so funny we're talking about this.
You don't want to leave the day ones. That's my day one. I don't want them to forget about I don't want for them to think I forgot about them.
Yeah. That's cool. And I know one of the things too, and I know you, and I already have a feeling that you already do this, and I didn't realize the benefit of this until last year, is just being present, even when you're not required to be present.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't realize how huge that was, because a lot of times, like with the program that we work with now, like we're supposed to be there on Thursdays, right? But I still, every now and then, I'll go up there on a Tuesday afternoon or a Wednesday. I'll stop by on a Friday just to go grab stuff, or if I need to go talk to somebody, and I'll drop in, just say hey to the kids. And I didn't start realizing how big of a deal that was until one of the students had mentioned that. And stuff. And so it's something about, and I'm pretty sure you do the same thing. Right?
Oh yeah, their face lights up because I don't think we understand. One thing I learned about working in schools, I work in low income areas, so Title I schools, is that a lot of these kids don't have the support system at home that we assume every kid has. Or like we'll judge it from our own standpoint. Like, oh well, I'd support. Why some of these kids are raising their siblings. Some of the kids are the ones who have to make sure everyone's fed. And I teach elementary school. Some of these kids, that child sleep in class. Well, because he stayed up all night because his mom wasn't home, so he had to watch his baby sibling. Like stuff like that. So like having adults who just care and will show up for them. It means everything. Yeah,
and definitely saying, I'm proud of you. Because that goes a long way.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, or good job.
And they're looking for, and that's one thing I've learned, that they're looking for that. A lot of them, like, they need that positive reinforcement. They just want someone to say, you know what, I'm proud of you. Hey, that's a good job.
Yeah.
So
kind of shifting into art as therapy, can you explain the benefits of creating art in the ways it has helped you over the years?
Creating art. Well, first of all, I'd say I'm an artist at heart and soul. Like, that's who I am. That's my very being. So I wouldn't know what to do with myself if I was an artist. People are like, if I wasn't this, I would do that. I don't know what I would do. Like, I don't have that option. Like, it was in my nature. And it's extremely therapeutic. Like, sometimes, like, I'll be, like, in my class, for example, and I'll get, like, an observation, or, like, one of the other teachers will come in, like, I just want to sit in here and draw with you. I'm like, come on, anytime. Like, because it's like you realize that it's tapping into something that a lot of us have suppressed. A lot of people suppress, or it's been drawn out of them. One thing I always hear from people is, oh, man, back in the day, I used to draw too. It never failed. It never. They'll see you drawing. Man, back in the day, I used to. But someone didn't nurture that in you. And it fell off. But like, it's like riding a bike. When you get back to it, it's a level of nostalgia and an innocence to it that it really helps you a lot. So for me, art's been the one thing I can count on no matter what. People come and go through your life, but like my art has always been there. And watching myself grow artistically, one thing I tell my students or anyone else, I'm like, don't throw away your artwork. I have sketchbooks, journals, painting, piles from years, because it's a living testament to your progress. Mm-hmm. If you throw everything that looks bad, you only have the good, you don't realize how far you've actually come. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like for me, I love, sometimes I'll just have a nostalgia day where I look through old sketchbooks and just, oh my God, I can't believe I used to draw like that. Like that's ugly. It's horrible. But I'm like, it allows me to appreciate, like, when I feel like, because when you're progressing, I feel you don't really see it because you're in it, you know? So you have to have something to judge it by, like, okay, well, this was me 5 years ago. Wow, I can't believe I used to, work like that 5 years ago. Now look at me now. So I'm like, okay, I see I am progressing, because sometimes, again, time is a fascinating concept because of the way we perceive it. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, man, I feel like my work has progressed. I feel like I'm doing the same thing. But then you look at yourself a month ago or 2 months ago or beginning of the year, but hold up, I am progressing. So and that I feel boosts your self-esteem and your confidence also.
That's
that you
something
are moving forward.
I want people to understand, like, it's the suffering part. You feel like you're suffering, but you're actually growing during the suffering.
I think people think it's always supposed to feel good.
Yeah.
And it's not. Like, as an artist, like, there's plenty of days I want to just lay in bed and, like, curl up and, like, I suck. But I'm like, no, that's not real. Yeah. That's not real. It's something you've created in your head, because for me, I judge myself against myself. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't compare myself to other artists. So I have this, I'm hypercritical. I'm like, I should be here. I'm like, I shouldn't be anywhere. I'm where I'm at. Yeah. I'm like, where do I think I should be? Right. I ask anyone who's creative, like, where do you think you should be? I should be performing on this stage. I'm like, no, you should be where you're at. Yeah. Because all you have is now. That's all you, like, now is the only thing that actually is what we're doing right now is the only thing that actually matters. Yeah. The past is gone. The future has not manifested yet. So it's just now. Enjoy the now.
Mm-hmm. I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. So when you are working, whether or not, like I said, even through like a therapeutics standpoint, if you're working on pieces, do you go through like certain stages where you're trying to learn or master certain techniques, or maybe certain things that you might have been inspired by? And you're like, I really like the way I like the way the color, like I like the lines in this style work, right? Or I like the way the color palette is set up or designed in this piece. Do you go through like stages or phases where you really focus and hone in on like specific skills? Oh, absolutely. So I have a library at my house. Mm-hmm. I perfectly believe everyone should have a library. My goal is to have a study. I want like one of the old school wall-to-wall libraries, big mahogany desks. So for me, whenever I see a book about art, I buy. And I don't just like the complete works. I like getting like journals. So like the behind the scenes stuff, like, okay, this is the artwork of this animated movie, or this is, this artist's sketchbook, just to see the behind the scenes and see like within the mind of the artist. So for me, I spend a lot of time researching. People think it's just, these are amazing. How you come up with these research? Like right now, my phone's already out of memory because every time I see something that, I'm like, oh, cool, I like that technique. Screenshot that. Okay, save that. So I have like 10,000 photos I have to go through trying to find stuff. But for me, research is a big thing because, like, for one, knowledge is something I value. I don't want to be ignorant. I feel like being ignorant is a choice, especially in the day and age of technology and information. Like from your phone, you can look up anything in the world. So like for me, I spend a lot of time researching things. Some of my big influences, for example, like Hayao Miyazaki, his Studio Ghibli, like the fact that it's an animation studio that still does hand-drawn animation. His movies like Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, or things that captivated me. The artist, John Gerard, also known as Mobius, like his use of color and his imagination, amazing. So yeah, I'm a big, either I'm reading something or visual media, like movies. Like I love directors. I love when you have an artist that has a signature look to their work, because that allows you to really study and be like, okay, cool. Why does he do this? Like I know a Quentin Tarantino movie when I see one. Mm-hmm. That's because he's honed a certain style. Yeah. And like as an artist, your style is your voice. Mm-hmm. I know you have a lot of artists who speak against it, and all. Your style is your signature. Like I can see an artist's work and I know I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so's work. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It speaks for you even when you're not there. It also, I think, tapping back on the AI concept, it helps, especially when you have so many people stealing and copying work.
to where when you are able to really focus in on your style, work on something, it allows other people to realize when it's not you.
Yeah.
That's one thing we see really rampantly right now. I'm like, why would you claim something you didn't do? It's the weirdest energy to me. But yeah, like as far as I'm concerned, studying whether it's anatomy books on perspective. I study different African tribes from like my color palettes and stuff of that nature. So just things of that nature. Research is really the core of everything.
I like your use of lines. That's one thing I admire, and I can definitely see your artwork. If I see it out, I'm like, yeah, I know who that is.
And that's the goal. So like, okay, so my use of lines is based around, yes, I paint. I don't really consider myself a painter though. Like I know like professional painter. I know people who paint. Like my mind doesn't even work like a painter's mind does. I see myself as an illustrator. I just do large scale illustrations and paints the medium. Like I don't consider myself a painter. So I grew up on, again, comics and stuff like that where, you know, you have these really bold colors, these bold line work. So that's really what influences my use of lines in my work.
Excellent. And I think another thing I like about your work too, I like the solid colors. I love solid colors. And it's, you know, like I said, I love various kinds of works of art, different pieces. But it's something about the solid colors that really stands out to me. Because you know, and I guess because when I think about blends, I think about fields and like trees and clouds. I like the boldness.
Well, let me explain that. That right there. Okay, so someone asked me that before also. Like, why do you use like the colors you use? Like, why use these bold colors? The way I look at it is, imagine if you had someone who had never seen before, someone who's blind, could not see. Then they gained sight. Imagine how vibrant and strong those colors would be to them. Or go back to when you were a kid. So children, we don't realize they're really different from us in the sense that they're new to this world. So their senses, everything's dialed up to 11. So they see things more vividly, they hear things, they all that. So like when it comes to color, like I can imagine how a child, remember when you were a kid, the world seemed brighter?
Yeah.
Like for whatever reason, the world seems dull now. Like, hold up. You look at McDonald's, like, remember McDonald's be bright and beautiful? Now you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But like, aside from the world already kind of shifting in that direction, it's also how we perceive things over time. Like, so we lose that ability to see things in that bright, vivid nature. So I want my work to elicit that feeling in you again. Like, oh man, this is like when I first saw my favorite Saturday morning cartoon. Or, you know, when like I would go into the toy section of a store and like it'd be like eye catching. Like that's what I want. I really want my work to pop and just catch your attention and take you back to a simpler time.
Talk about the use of color and how it ignites emotion and why it's important in the classroom. So
it's fascinating because my general attire is black. I love it. Like, that's my aesthetic. So it's like when people see my work, but hold up, like
that's him.
Like yeah. So like for me, and I also think it positively affects mood. Like I can't be upset looking at something bright like this. You know, like if I'm having a bad day, I see some bright artwork. He's like, you know what? It's not that bad. You know, like, and I think for that, again, like as people, our vision is first thing, like as our primary means of data processing. And I feel that when we use like bright, vivid colors, it allows you to, it reworks your mind. You're no longer in that dark space. Because I think a lot of us are in dark places mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So sometimes we need this physical bright element to, you know, shine within us, which is also a major aspect of the light that shines out the third eye of all my pieces.
So is that your signature on all your pieces?
I would say yes. And it just ties into having knowledge of self. I think a big issue we're facing right now is people looking for others to define them. Like, but you're you. Like, you can't have someone else define you. The way I look at it is everyone's a main character of their own story. So a lot of times we operate and we look around at people and don't realize that, yes, you have your problems, you're perceiving them one way, but they're existing within themselves. Like right now, we're in this room full of people, but how many versions of me do you think exist right now? You think just one of me here? No. Every person here perceives me differently. So therefore, they've created a new reality.
Of you.
So that multiverse concept is real. Like, you're not just a singular being. Like, you perceive yourself one way, but every person you interact with sees you differently. For example, my mom sees me as her son.
Yeah.
You know, my brother, I'm his brother. You know, like every person you interact with sees you in a different light. So you adopt a new persona, a new you is born. So for me, having knowledge of self is very important because it's very easy to get caught up in the roles you're playing in other people's lives instead of realizing that I'm the main character of this story.
Yeah.
So, again, when you have knowledge of self, no one can tell you about yourself.
That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense when you break it down like that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people can get caught up in living up to other people's expectations.
Absolutely.
And that's what's doing what truly makes them happy.
And you ask why. Like, you know, like, why does what you think of me matter?
Right.
You know,
Or
everyone thinks of you.
When did it happen? When did it trump your story?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like right now, people are walking around unhappy in their lives because they're trying to meet other people's expectations. And even if you succeed in meeting their expectations, does not mean you will be happy.
Yeah.
And
Or
that's
fulfilled.
makes sense. And that's what makes it so dope too about working with kids.
Oh,
Working with
yes.
youth. Because they're still at that stage where
They're free. I'm like, no, be like, oh, I'm weird. Yes, you're weird. Good. I'm weird. Be weird.
Yeah.
Like what? Like
It's acceptable.
What is normal?
Yeah.
Breaking yourself and deforming yourself into this thing that you're not. That's weird. So no, be or no, and those are I think the kids I gravitate towards the most. The ones that are just like, yeah, that child's different. But it reminded me of me, you know, before, you know, I think a lot of us as adults, we have to relearn ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's disappointing. So I'm trying to inspire the next generation, just be yourself from the get-go. And you can save yourself that trouble of being bogged down with being someone else and then having to relearn yourself in your adulthood.
Can you talk about your artist name? You know, some people use their real name, and some people have an artist name. So how did you decide on that, or how did it come about?
So Jakeem Da Dream, I created in high school. I was inspired mainly by hip hop because I'm like, rappers are dope. Like rappers, you know, most rappers don't go by their real name. I don't know many rappers' real name. They have personas. So for me, Jakeem is actually an acronym. It stands for Just a King Enjoying Everyday Moments. And like for me, that was very important because high school was not the greatest time for me. Like I wasn't, you know, I wasn't one of the popular kids. I was one of those weird kind of kids, you know.
where did you go to high school?
Crestwood.
Okay.
Yeah, Crestwood High School.
Okay, what about two of my good friends went to Crestwood?
Bad, yeah. But for me, it was just like, okay. Also, the notion that the name you have is the name someone else gave you.
Right.
And that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But I should be able to define who I am, myself. I also saw an interview. So I have a lot of go-bys. Jakeem Da Dream is probably my most prominent art persona. But I have others, you know, whether it's, you know, Six Path Sage, just like a lot of different names I go by. And the reason why, because someone recently asked me that too, I saw an interview with RZA from Wu-Tang, where they were asking, you know, like RZA has all these different names, and they were asking, like, yo, so why do you have so many different names? He was like, okay, well, it says there's 99 names of God or Allah, right? He's like, I'm working on mine. He's like, right now I'm at like 12. Because he had like 12 different names. I'm like, yo, that's dope. Like, what if every aspect of myself that I discover, I gave a name?
Yeah.
So that's what I do. You know, so every time, like, you know, like there's the inquisitive side to me. There's this side of me. Let me name it.
Yeah.
You know, like instead of it just wandering, because I feel like when you name it, you really empower it. So like instead of it wandering around and you're confused and why do I feel? No, that's just another persona of me. So yeah, like when you interact with me, there's different versions you may get. Like some people think I'm quiet and soft-spoken.
I did.
A lot of people think that, but that's a part of me.
Yeah.
Other people, man, like, he don't never shut up. Like he talks all the time. You know, like, oh, like he's always taking pictures. He must be a photographer. I'm like, no, there's so many aspects of myself that I feel that giving myself a name was very important. But Jakeem Da Dream, again, that right there is my primary creative persona. And it was meant as a positive affirmation. You know, I'm like, just a king enjoying every day moment.
So are we here with Jakeem, or are we here with somebody else?
Yeah.
This is Jakeem.
Okay. I just wondering.
So one of the 12.
Yeah. Okay.
So with that said, I know we got to get ready to wrap up. How do you find balance between, like work and life?
So for me, that's actually something I'm actively working daily on, because teaching art can be difficult at times because you're teaching art. So it's like, okay, you're working all day. And it's like, go home. Well, I did art today. Like, no, technically I didn't.
You did.
I didn't actually do any work. So for me, people know me for being like on the road a lot. They people know where I live at. People like, man, I thought you lived in Charleston. I thought you were in Columbia. I thought you were in Charlotte. Because like I believe in going where the art is. So for me, that's how I find the balance. Like my day starts Monday through Friday. My day starts at 4:00 in the morning. If there's an art event going on at 6 that evening in Columbia, I'm gonna be there. In Charleston, I'm gonna be there. I've driven out to Atlanta for a day just to go see Black Boy Art Show and then come back. Because I had to work the next one. Like, that's for me, pursuing the arts. Anything involving art, I'm going to go for. So for me, that's the balance. Because I feel like when I just teach, it's not me. Like I say, I'm a teaching artist. I'm an artist who teaches. I'm not an art teacher. I'm an artist first and foremost. So as long as I'm feeding into whether that's me interacting with artists, like I love just being in the space with artists. I'll talk all day, all night long. But hey, we have to go. Like, oh, my bad. I'm because these are my people. Yeah. So for me, connecting with my people is very important. Creatives, artists of that nature, where conversation is easy, where you don't feel like that weird kid anymore. You were never weird. You were just around the wrong people. So when you start getting around your actual people, you're like, yo, you really start finding who you are. You didn't even know who you were. Like, I didn't know who I was before I started getting around artists. I'm like, you know what? I don't do too much. My personality isn't too big. Like I was just in the wrong spaces. So for me, I go where the art is. I tell people all that's what I do. I go with the artists, and that rejuvenates me and allows me to keep the proper balance. So this week's been busy. I've been back and forth between Charleston, Columbia, Sumter, but I find me a day to rest, and then I do it all over again.
Do you have any current projects coming up that we can look forward to?
So my biggest project I have coming up, I'm doing a solo exhibit, at the Sumter Art Gallery in January. Okay. So that would be my second solo exhibit. I just recently did one at Koger Center through Jasper Project. Shout out Jasper.
That's big.
Congratulations. That was amazing. And then it happened like around my birthday too. Oh wow. And so I had my show on Juneteenth because I'm like,
wow.
Place.
Yeah. So my next big one is going to be the Sumter Art Gallery. So I'm looking forward to that, and just whatever else life brings. I'm a student of life.
Are you a Gemini?
Yeah.
I figured.
Hard Gemini, yeah.
Because you said you like to talk, and I'm like, Geminis like to talk. They're very creative, I like to guess people's signs.
And plus the duality, I find that a lot of people are in conflict with themselves because they are trying to be just one version of themselves. I'm like, no, I embrace every aspect of myself. So that's why I'm so happy. Like, why would I not be? Like, I'm dope.
We have to have art day. Yeah. This is just confirmation.
Yeah, we got to do an art day.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Do an art day.
Because we have met so many artists over the span of doing the podcast, and I feel like a lot of us can benefit from just a therapeutic day where we could just create not have to worry about anything else. And everybody does different forms of art. So it's digital, painting, illustration, pottery.
Yeah, definitely should. At the end of the year.
Yeah, maybe a rhizome.
It nourishes your soul, and I think a lot of people are depleted right now, so I think that would help.
So we do have a live audience with us today, and I want to just check in to see if anybody has any questions. Yes.
I was just curious, what's the inspiration for the art that's currently behind you?
Glad you asked. So this piece is part of a series called Enlightened Beasts. And the premise behind it is how Black men in particular are perceived as these aggressive, confrontational individuals. And while we do have a primal nature to us to a degree, we're also full of light and energy and just positive support, knowledge. And that's what we see coming from the third eye. We're emitting that. And I feel the mask itself is designed to show that, don't try us, because we're willing to, get aggressive when it comes time to protect. but we also have a lot of positive energy to give. So yeah, for me, this series really stands out. You know, being a black man my whole life, I've walked into spaces and been seen as a threat when I literally have done nothing but exist. And it's like, why am I being persecuted because of your fear? In particular, an event happened in Charleston that still sticks with me, where I was walking. It was late at night. I was on the phone with a girlfriend at the time. Walking through like a shopping center. Everything was closed. Got off the phone, turned around and walked back to my dorm. And a cop stopped me and pulled me over. You know, they asked me, you know, if I had identification. They called up a partner. So a second cop car pulls up. Now, mind you, I'm like 18. It's middle of the night. They pat me down, frisk me, you know, and then send me on my way. And this happens like roughly before, like shortly before the Trayvon Martin incident. So for me, it was like, I've never experienced that. Just, you know, being profiled in that way. I've done nothing. I have no ill intent, but for someone to see me, and that goes back to the notion of we're all main characters of our own story. People's perception of you is fascinating. Like, you may see me one way, but someone else can see me a completely different way. So for me, this series is very important because we're a lot more than what you see on the outside. It's about the internal light that we have. So yeah, thank you for that question. Hope I answered it.
Well, thank you for being on this episode. I really enjoyed it. And we will definitely be reaching back out to you to be on Kid Gloves as a teacher for the kids soon.
Okay.
And we just appreciate you. And where can people find your artwork or contact you?
So right now, most of my work is up on Instagram at Da Dream Designs. So Da Dream Designs is my primary handle on Instagram. Or you could, if you're interested in purchasing, you can email me at dadreamdesigns@gmail.com.
Perfect.
But thank y'all so much. Y'all are dope. Like, this is awesome.
Man, you're dope, man.
Yeah.
We all dope. Yeah, we
Right.
all dope.
Yes,
Yeah,
all
man.
dope. Yes, indeed. With that said, I do want to just drop a few shout outs. Of course, shout out to Celeb Studio. So a long time sponsor and supporter of the Hilltop Glove. And of course, if you guys like this dope space, you guys can actually record here too. We do have, this is a peer space, so you guys can rent the space out because we're not always recording every week. Also, we'll have information about that in the descriptor. If you want to start your pod, like I said, if you're somebody who's more experienced, we even can help you figure out how to put this all together for you. Also, shout out to Alternate Roots because this is a Rhizome event today. So this is an opportunity we want to give people a chance to network and learn more, not just about Hilltop Glove, but even just provide information about Alternate Roots organization that's helped fund many of the different projects that we've done. But with that said, I just want to just thank Jakeem for joining us today. And it's been another episode of Hilltop Glove Podcast. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
The Hilltop Glove Podcast.